This is Activity 5-2, summarizing report data using the count function. Now, the count function is called an SQL aggregate. Now, what does that mean? That means you are doing with a single select statement something over and above. For example, select first name, and then in brackets you would do an upper statement. So you would change it to uppercase, or select customer ID and then count how many. So they're known as aggregates. So counting, averaging, minimum, maximum, those types of entries are considered aggregates. Now we're going to start this off with a blank report here, and we're going to connect to, of course, our extreme. And here it is, our extreme. And in here, we're going to add a command. Now this one, we're going to do this twice. We're going to firstly do select region. Okay. From customer. And we're going to group by region. And then we're going to order by region. That makes sense, right? Go and get all of my regions from the customer table, group them by region, and then sort them by region. And let's say OK. And let's say OK. And over here, we have our region. Let's just put it in, and let's preview that. And it looks correct. All right. Now, let's go back to design. We're going to edit that command. We're going to do an aggregate. So I'm going to go back to my database expert, right-click the command. So right in this first line, I'm going to do a comma, and then the aggregate is going to be count. Customer, customer ID, and I'm going to do an as statement. Now you're going to say, what does that mean? Well, let's finish this up and preview it and see what it actually means. Right? Now again, we're just going to say OK. And notice it doesn't like some of these in the expression. Notice this quotes here. It doesn't like that. And this depends upon the syntax within the version of the backend database and the syntax within the version of this product. In our case, it's Crystal Reports. So we're going to change this up, and we're going to take the name of the table and wrap it as well. Right? And we're going to say OK. And again, we get the error. And it does tell us right here, it is an issue with this expression. Right there. Now, this wouldn't happen if we didn't have spaces in some of these elements. Now, I'm going to troubleshoot. I'll be back. Now, I figured it out. Notice the quote. It's actually not a quote using your keyboard beside the Enter key. These are actually up in the upper left beside the tilde. And let's say OK to that. And let's say OK to that. And notice over here, number of customers. We get that entry. Now we've got the number of customers. Let's bring that over. Number of customers beside the region. And let's run that. And it works. So be very mindful when you're typing. Case sensitivity, spaces, quotes, single quotes, double quotes, literals. Now we're going to save the file, and we're going to close the file. We're going to save it as my customer count by region, and that's the end of this demo.